is a big problem, globally, but also in Europe. So one of the ways would be to focus there in the area where we can also make a change. And pediatric cancer could be one of those. Just to give you some of the examples, we are not there yet. We haven't made any decisions, and actually the idea would be to co-create these missions with the participation of all the stakeholders, including all of you here. Now, international cooperation, as I mentioned, we also need our international participants, international partners, in order to have more impact, in Europe, but also globally. That's why it continues to be an important part of Horizon Europe. Open science practices is something that we encourage throughout the program. This is something that we are already doing with Horizon 2020, but it's not. We haven't been as successful as we'd like to be. That's why we need to focus on that also in the future program. New approach to European partnerships. Here sometimes we've been criticized that the partnerships are not open enough, that they are too complicated, that are not easily accessible to new players, even if throughout the years we also see that more and more new players also participate there. But what we've decided here to put forward is a much simplified, more focused, and also more inclusive way to do European partnerships. So there would be basically just 3 ways how to do that: in a co-programmed, co-funded way, or in the institutionalized partnerships in the areas where we can't have the impact otherwise. Now, in order for you, all of you, to be better able to participate, we need simple and fit-for-purpose rules. I've noticed in the program that you have a specific session devoted to that. So you already have a much simplified set of rules in our current program, Horizon 2020, as compared to FP7. But here the ambition is to simplify it further in order to have better participation. Now, the way we have designed the whole program has been in the so-called co-creation mode. What we've been doing, and this is clearly different from the way we've been working so far in the Commission, has been to co-create it with all our colleagues across different DGs in order to have the program, which is actually the result of the joint work. And this is something we also propose as a way forward to the strategic planning together with all possible stakeholders. We've already started that with the member states. We've been discussing some of the elements, particularly partnerships and missions with the member states, and this would also be the way how to implement the program. Now, I guess you are also wondering when we are there, when you will actually be able to see the final form of Horizon Europe, because what I've been speaking about until now has been the Commission proposal. You know that we are in very intensive negotiations with our co-legislators, that is the Council and the European Parliament. And actually there will be very important meetings upcoming. Actually tomorrow, on the 21st of November, the ITRE committee in the European Parliament which has been dealing with Horizon Europe proposal, is going to vote on the reports of two rapporteurs who have been dealing with different proposals in Horizon Europe. And then in a week's time, on the 30th of November, we will also have the council meeting, where the objective is to adopt the so-called PGA of the framework program for the main regulation and the report for the special program. This will pave the way then for the so-called trialogue process. We are not there yet, but the ambition is to be ready before next spring, when the new parliament will be elected and when also the new commission will step in about a year's time. So this is still the optimistic scenario. We are not there yet, but we are still hopeful in order to be able to actually start the implementation of the program as of the 1st of January 2021. Because it's not after the conclusion of the interinstitutional negotiations, we still need to finalize the strategic planning program, as I described, which is an ambitious one, also including the co-design of missions and setting up of partnerships. Now, I'd like to conclude with some of the success stories of Spain participating in the current program. And there are several of those, but I've just chosen a couple of ones. One of those is actually an initiative towards sustainable kerosene for aviation, the Ithaca project. This is expected to support the development of aviation biofuels in an economically, socially, but also in an environmentally sustainable way. And this is the first of this kind of collaborative project in the EU, with the budget of nearly 10 million euros. Another one which I've chosen is actually tackling one of the big problems that we have in Europe, but also globally. That is the marine plastic litter. Some have said that we are in a danger that in the near future, if we do not do something radically, then we will find ourselves in a situation where there will be more plastic in the seas and oceans than there are the fish. So we really need to do something about it. That's why we've also proposed this as one of the potential mission areas. But we already have some success stories, and this project is an example about that, because it actually uses the plastic marine litter for something useful, namely producing high-quality clothes made of marine litter. So this is also one of the ways how we can deal with this situation. And it's just an example of one of these projects, and we have several like that. Now, to conclude, I'd like to use a quote of Commissioner Carlos Moedas, who has said that with growing international competition, Europe needs to act urgently on research and innovation. And the proposed 100 billion for the next EU research and innovation program would be a huge boost. So I will rely on the support of Spain in order to have really this very ambitious program in place. So thanks a lot for your kind attention, and I wish you very good discussions in the course of your today. And thanks again for inviting me for your conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Ratzo. I'm sure you will take into account for the negotiations the Spanish point of view that we have mentioned sometimes. Okay? Ahora es tiempo del café, que se va a servir en el espacio Zocodover, y permítame solicitarles su colaboración para que permanezcan sentados hasta que la primera fila abandone la sala, por favor. Gracias.